All right. Welcome back to another segment of Sunday Morning Quarterbacks where we're doing team previews and AFC outlooks, NFC outlooks, all the good stuff to get you ready for the season. Want to pivot to one of our favorite fan bases on Twitter, the Baltimore Ravens. Got a guest with me today. Everybody loves him, everybody knows him. His name is Nitro the Wonderkin, Quantum Nitro, the host of the Wonderkin Show. He got the exclusive interview with Lamar Jackson right after he got his checks. You know, nobody knows the Ravens like him, and nobody supports the Ravens like him. So, welcome into my guy Nitro. What it do? What it do, my guy?
What's good, homie? What's good?
You already know, man. Excited for the NFL season.
Yes, sir.
First things first, Lamar got the contract. Obviously, you're ecstatic.
Yeah.
Got what he deserved. Obviously, we all know that. They talk
Earned
about
every dollar.
they talk about the market all the time, but we all know that unanimous MVP is something that shouldn't be taken lightly. If you know the history of this game, we understand how special he truly is.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm gonna get straight to it. New offensive coordinator. We've been hearing for years, and I'm gonna say it again, for years. Greg Roman, it's not gonna work. Greg Roman this, Greg Roman that. You bring in Todd Monken from the University of Georgia.
Yep.
Go get some weapons. Zay Flowers,
Yeah.
OBJ.
Yeah.
What's your expectations now that all these have been addressed? All these wants from the fans have been addressed, and the team as far as playmakers around Lamar Jackson. What are we in for this season? What are your thoughts on everything that's going down in the offseason?
Well, Sosa the locksmith, you're in for a wild ride. You know what I'm saying? Look, everybody looks at the Ravens and know what they're capable of. The past two seasons, Lamar Jackson has been hurt. Before the injuries, they were leading the AFC in totality, and then the next season leading the AFC North. The only teams that have been able to even keep pace with them has been who? The Chiefs and the Bengals. That's it. So this is not really a question. With getting rid of Greg Roman, this gives Lamar Jackson so much more opportunity to be dynamic. It opens up the field. He can play in space. He has weapons that can beat people one shot down the field, get open in their first window. You know what I mean? And anybody that knows football knows a lot of times with receivers and stuff like that, there's two-way goals in a lot of the routes. So sometimes when they're getting off the line of scrimmage, are they open on their first window? So when they go back to snap and you look over, are they open? Justin Jefferson gets open on the first window. Tyreek Hill, open on the first window. Devontae Adams, open on the first window. Lamar's had none of that. None of it. So now he got Zay, he got Bay, he got OBJ, he got all the A's. So, and to be real with you, you a 49ers guy. You already know what Greg Roman is. From what I'm understanding, you guys were elated to have him off your squad. So are we.
Yeah, I can't lie, man. Obviously, what you look for is progression in a league where everybody's always trying to find an edge and put these quarterbacks in situations where you can find one-on-ones down the field. Obviously, we could say you guys were devoted talent at wide receiver. However, that doesn't change the idea of having some level of ingenuity or a level of just creativity that you see from teams. I think that's the biggest issue, is that meat and potatoes is cool, but sometimes you got a little spice. A little spice needs to be in there. It can't all be base.
Yeah, man.
So
Facts.
I think that was probably the biggest thing with Greg Roman. Obviously, it's an offense that he won an MVP, and then people are gonna harp on that
touchdowns.
thing.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, what's your expectation with Monken's offense? Is it let's throw it 500 times?
No. This is
Because
Baltimore.
that's what I'm hearing online. I'm hearing like he's going to be paid.
No.
That's what
Nah.
I'm hearing. Like I'm hearing Peyton Manning in Denver with 1,000 rushing yards on top.
Okay, here's the thing, and I do mean this. Lamar has the ability to go for 5,000 passing yards. I want to make sure that is all like that's on the table immediately. He can go for 5,000 yards. The thing is, this is still John Harbaugh's team. People have to understand he likes his teams to be able to run the ball. And he's not hiring somebody that is going to coordinate, that is not going to be able or want to run the ball. This ain't going to be the old Eagles. You know what I'm saying? You remember what I'm saying with Andy Reid, where first, second, third down, and they might go for it on fourth down, pass. That's not what this is going to be.
He's still doing that shit.
And you already know that was the difference between him and Eric Bieniemy, because Eric Bieniemy likes to run the ball. So
they say, but my theory with Bieniemy, and I know this is off topic, right? My theory with Bieniemy is that Bieniemy played a bigger part in play design than people think, and it has nothing to do with the play calling. It's understanding how to look at things a little bit differently, right, as opposed to the conventional way, and finding ways to adjust to your player skill sets and giving them opportunities to be successful based on those, without having to ask them to do things they can't do. I think that's the biggest thing that Bieniemy has, and I think we'll see that in Washington. But that's just how I view it.
No, you're right. You know why I know you're right? And I'm gonna tell you why you're right. Because even the other day, Andy Reid came out and said that he got a play from a worker, like a regular worker. Janitor. Janitor. Oh, this looks like a good play there. So he's humble enough, as smart as Andy Reid is, he's humble enough to understand that it takes more than one way to skin a cat. And the more creative and diverse you could be, the better you'll be over the long haul. And that's what Bieniemy was to him. It was the ability to be diverse. No pun intended, because he's black. So no pun intended. But back to what I was saying with the Ravens. John Harbaugh wants to run this ball. Tom Monken is going to run the ball. Now, here's the thing. The difference is they're not going to be running out of heavy sets. They're going to be trying to running out of the 11 personnel. So spread them out. If you're trying to guard more of the edges, just like you see with Peyton Manning, put it in the gut of the running back. Every time it's light boxes, go get those yards. And if you keep doing it, go get more of those yards. We will nickel and dime you all the way to a touchdown and smile while doing it. See, that's what they're going to be doing. So Lamar is going to be able to do all of that, plus have the ability to run. I want to listen. And for a lot of people that hate on him, people really don't seem to understand just how special he is. He is a guy that has the arm talent of top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, right? Arm talent. And then he has the lower legs and ability of the best skill position players in the NFL. When they talk about open field runners, you got Tyreek Hill and Lamar Jackson. Everybody else comes after.
And what's crazy is Zay Flowers is going to be in that mix too.
Woo! Pray to God he is. Pray.
I'm not going to lie to you, bro. The combination of like top end speed to go with elite route running
and quickness out of his breaks.
The league better watch out, bro, because there have been guys who are fast that can't run routes like this kid. He is not only a technician, he can fly. That is a crazy, crazy, crazy combination, bro.
Question. I know you're not a Raven fan, but I got a question real quick. Who do you think is faster straight line, him or Marquise Brown?
Next question.
No. I got to ask that because people forget that Marquise Brown can fly.
Zay Flowers.
On a straightaway?
Yeah, Zay can. Listen, here's the problem here's the only issue with Zay. Zay played at Boston College. If Zay played at Florida State,
like that.
In the same, I'm saying this because they play in the same conference, right?
Oh, okay. It makes sense.
If he played at Florida State, he'd be the top 10 pick. Bro, he fits the modern NFL perfectly. Listen, and also just for all my sports science nerds, the number one ability that you're looking for with a receiver is deceleration. It is not what you think. It is not what people think. It's like it's about deceleration. It's about getting from top speed.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Top speed to stopping as fast as possible, or slowing yourself down to create separation. It has acceleration is what separates you. Look at him, bro. This dude has the initial burst and this with the ability to decelerate.
You know, and I'll even compound on that. What makes him even more dangerous is what you had previously said, his over-the-top speed. So you can't just press him and think, oh, I'll stick him at the line because he's small. Because if you do, hey,
he can run real routes. That's no
yes,
he can run a real route tree to go with. Like I said, remember Tyreek Hill wasn't a great route runner. I mean, he's gotten much better.
Way
the thing
better.
that would separate him is one, deceleration and understanding that you know where to go as far as finding zones and stuff. Now he's gotten much
leverage,
better.
bro.
He's gotten
Leverage.
much better as a route runner. But when I see Zay Jones or Zay, I keep saying Zay Jones. When I see Zay Flowers, that's
yeah,
bro. Like he's that just dynamic, just game changing. He's got it. He's got
Listen,
it. So.
it's yak. In other words, it's yak. And most of the players that give you large amounts of yak have the ability to go from this way all the way back down and stop on a dime. That's what we used to call it in basketball. You can stop on the dime and cross and go the other way. So, and that's what he's able to do on a football field in cleats. So he's going to be a problem. And that's where this is going to be dangerous. Because what are you going to do? No, straight up, Sos. If anybody knows football, and I know you know football, like we say on Twitter, you know ball. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
I like to think I do.
What are you really going to do as a defense? If you play heavy to stop the run, because like I said, the Ravens are still going to run the ball because J.K. Dobbins is no slouch. Gus Edwards is no slouch. You know what I mean? They can churn out those yards, and we're not even talking about Lamar's legs. We're just talking about those two.
If it's a numbers game, the Ravens should win the Ravens should win on every down. And if you know football, like you said, so that's the expectation. Now,
yes,
I want to shift things. You guys winning the division?
Yes.
How many games?
Hey, I got 14. I said the low is going to be 13. That's the low. That's the floor.
Okay. All right.
13 games. That's the floor.
It's open forum. You say whatever you want now. I'm
13.
Okay.
Now look, that's barring everybody already knows this is barring injury.
Okay.
If we're healthy, not even we, if Lamar is healthy this entire season, floor is 13 wins. I don't care if anybody 13 wins. That's the floor. The floor.
Interesting. It's very interesting.
Hardwood.
It's very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
He's like,
yeah, you got straight to it. I'm like, okay, that was. Okay.
I'm not. Listen, so look what you just said. Honestly,
yeah.
Take the fan. I'll take the fan out of it. Right. You're going to be dealing with an offense that there's nothing you can actually really do to slow them down. If you play the coverage perfectly, Lamar can beat you. And he's not Jalen Hurts, who will beat you and get 10 yards to get the first down. Lamar can outrun all of your defensive backs to the goalpost and smile. And you know how he likes to laugh, like when he's doing it. Bro, like defensive coordinators are going to be like this at nighttime. Hold me. That's how they're going to be, bro. And I'm going to be laughing all the way to the bank because there's a couple teams that were going like this. And just like Dion the other day versus TCU, a lot of people's going to be put on mute.
I totally agree, man. I'm not agreeing with 14 wins, but I totally agree that if all things go as planned, the Ravens should have one hell of an offense, and the defense is
13, 1-3.
13's the floor.
13's the floor.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Man, okay, I'm listening. So that's how you feel.
Yep.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna get so much flack on this, man. I'm gonna get so much flack. I got Pittsburgh making the playoffs.
Okay.
I got 3 teams making it from the AFC North.
Just one team at a time. Pittsburgh.
Making the playoffs.
How many wins?
10.
Okay. Cleveland Browns.
Making the playoffs. Go ahead and ask me.
So
how many games? Go ahead and ask me.
So what about the Bengals?
Home. watching the three of them play. Home. They will be home. I do not have the Bengals making the playoffs this season. Now, I know I said that last season, but last season they were on pace to be missing it until Lamar then got hurt. So I'm not even worried about it. Listen, I think the Bengals are a dynamic team. I think, listen, offensively, they're undeniable. Defensively, they're solid. What I will say is I have a bad feeling about certain things that could transpire for that team. They've been relatively healthy. They've been relatively blessed in both sides of the ball when it's coming to that. So this might, and I'm not wishing on anything bad. I'm just thinking that a lot of times in NFL, we know how this works. If you're blessed a certain amount of years with, prosperity at the injury position, the
injury position.
Then you sometimes get the injury bug.
The injury position.
Yeah, the injury position. So look, I'm just saying that I think they're a great team. I respect the receivers. I respect their quarterback. I just think that they're going to be the odd man out because not only that, I think the Browns are going to be a reason for that. And a lot of people hate on the Browns, but people don't, because me and you talked about this off camera. I specifically said we talked about this. I said the Browns. I heard somebody else say the Browns might have one of the best rosters in the league, top to bottom.
But they've always been talented. I'm not disputing it. They've been talented. They've always been talented. Their quarterbacks.
But where I'm coming from is Deshaun Watson. He's the key. If he starts playing like old school Deshaun Watson, I'll be real with you. Joe Burrow's only the third best quarterback in that division then. Yes. Tell me right now. Hold on. Deshaun Watson at his best is not better than Joe Burrow? Straight up. So, no, I'm not being a fan. I'm being real.
No.
He's not?
No.
Jesus, God. Go ahead and tell me why, please. I got to hear this.
I'm a Deshaun Watson fan, bro. He's
not better than Joe Burrow at his best?
No.
So the year that he had on the Texans when they missed the playoffs, how much did he have?
He led the league in passing yards.
Yeah, passing yards. What was his touchdown? You think Joe Burrow could do that without Jamar Chase and T. Higgins?
That's not a fair assessment.
The reason why I'm always saying it is because remember he lost DeAndre Hopkins and he put up those numbers.
I hear you, but I can't fault him. Yeah, but he did that with they didn't win. They weren't good.
Okay, I'll give you. Okay, I'll flip it then. I'll do it this differently.
Okay.
If you give Deshaun Watson what Joe Burrow has, how far does he go?
I don't know.
If you give Lamar what he has, how far does he go?
Hold on a second. One, I can't quantify the relationship he has with Jamar Chase. I'm dead fucking serious. I'm dead serious.
All right, go ahead.
Listen, Lamar, different story. You know how I feel about Lamar. I think
he's different.
Lamar is to me, Lamar's generational. He's a generational athlete. He's my favorite. He's my favorite football player. Listen, Joe Burrow is special. I like Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson's a damn good quarterback. I think he returns to form this year. But bro, Joe got it, bro. I think he's a leader of men. I think he understands even when in his rookie year, they were competing before he got hurt. They were competing in games. It's not like they were going out there and getting their asses whooped. They weren't. And then he immediately comes back and goes to a Super Bowl. I like Deshaun Watson. I like him. But I also saw Deshaun Watson give up a 3-touchdown lead in a playoff game where they blamed everybody but him. I can't agree with that at all. And I love Deshaun Watson as a football player. You can have your opinion about him
off the field,
whatever you want, right? We're removed from that. It's the 2023 football season. Deshaun Watson, if he returns to form, that Cleveland team has a chance to be really, really good. I'm not disputing that. However, if you're going to say that he is not at his height, no. Doug, Joe got to a Super Bowl his second year. He got one game from the Super Bowl the next year. No fucking way.
So, okay. So I'm going to ask you this. Is it because I already know I'm going to get flamed for this. You already know who they next going to come for me. You know they are. And look, and I want to say this before because context always matters. Joe Burrow is a top 5 QB in the league. Make no mistake about it. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm saying Yeah, if to me, Deshaun Watson, if he returns the form, is a top 5 QB in the league to me. Because if you start that's what I'm saying. But I just have him over. Yeah, okay. So I want to make sure that context. But you know they're gonna be, oh, he thinks Joe Burrow's whack.
I'm telling you, no. That clip they're gonna replay. I promise you.
Oh my God, are they?
I promise you. However, it's cool. It's all good. Hopefully they watch the whole thing, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Let's get through it. But no, look, like I've said before, Joe Burrow has had some things on his side since he's been in. We always got on Patrick Mahomes as having the perfect situation when he came in, right? The only thing that you could say that Joe Burrow had problems with was his O-line. That is it. Everything else has been pretty spot on for him. Up and down the roster on both sides of the ball, special teams.
I don't ever think he's had a plus tight end. I think his tight ends have been decent, but I don't think.
Yeah, decent. But the giveaway is he's had number 1 wide receiver play. So if you that's like the same thing as saying, okay, he has the best wide receiving core, and then you give him a +5 tight end. It's like, okay, whoa.
They don't function the same though. Like, see, the thing is like if you took Burrow away from Cincinnati, I think for those like 5, like the same way that Lamar missed games, I think it's the same effect. And I think that the talent around him is really good. Don't get it fucked up. But I think Joe Burrow's in close games, bro, he's different. Like he understands the clock, like the internal clock, not like the one on.
Yeah.
He got it, bro. I can't. I'm not going. My thoughts are reserved because, like I said, ain't no dispute. I love Lamar. I think Lamar is I think he's the best football player in the world.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? That's me.
So there's no hating. So, you know what I'm saying? It's none. That's just what I feel. And like I said, I got the Browns winning 12 games this year.
Hey, man. I wouldn't.
He's like, hey, man.
I wouldn't put it past them. Like I said, remember, bro, the roster's loaded.
Loaded.
Running backs, offensive line, receiver room,
like a Philly potato, loaded.
Line, linebacking core, secondary, loaded. So it would not surprise me if they were good.
I have a question then, right? If we're talking straight, we're going to talk numbers because if Lamar and the Ravens win 12 to 13 games, the Browns win 12 to 11 to 12 games. How much games do you really think that leaves for Bengals? Because that was the other point I was going. The Ravens against the Bengals, since Lamar's been there, has had a winning record against them. And the Browns has been even worse. I think the Browns are 8-2 versus them.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you the stat. It's like 8-2 or something like that. So
exact numbers.
So if they're losing against the Ravens and if they're losing against the Ravens and the Browns, that only leaves the Pittsburgh Steelers for them to beat up on in the division.
That's a very interesting way of seeing it. Listen, football's not even a year-to-year business; it's a week-to-week business.
Yep.
So I'm excited for the season. I'm really looking forward to it. But I really want to forward our thoughts here to I want to make sure that everyone gets what Nitro has to say in regards to this year. I just give me 5 of Nitro's thoughts.
Okay.
Let's go through just this season. It's just all teams considered, not just the
Ravens.
The Ravens. Thoughts. All right. And after the 4 or 5, it don't have to be 5, but 4 or 5, and then who are you guys playing in the Super Bowl and what will be the score?
All right, got you. So it's going to be a Bird Gang Super Bowl. That's number 1. Philly returns to lose against the Ravens for back-to-back years. They play the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, and they lose, and then the 49ers lose. I got the Ravens playing. Check this out. I got the Ravens playing the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and the Kansas City Chiefs losing. Also, big thing that I know is going to ruffle some people's feathers. Marcus Peters. Juice Man, he will lead the league or be top 3 in interceptions for this upcoming season. I want to make sure I put that on there now. Top 3.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's number 1. So y'all can hold me to that.
All right.
Lamar. with the Raiders.
Okay. I like
Lamar sweeps all the awards. I got him being the MVP of the season. I got him being the Super Bowl MVP and Super Bowl champion. And I want to say this too. If he does that, he's automatically a Hall of Famer. Automatically.
I think he already is.
Yeah, but I'm saying because one thing with Lamar, because he has so much going against him, he just can't be good. He has to be undeniable. And with that resume, he becomes undeniable. 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, 2-time All-Pro. You know, the All-Pro gets the MVP, always gets the All-Pro, right? And then he'll be a 3-time Pro Bowler on top of it. Yeah, and he's led the league in passing touchdowns too. Broke the rushing records for the QBs. Hall of Fame. Okay, there it goes right there. Another thing that people are going to say, and I know people are going to come for me. I don't have the Bengals making the playoffs, and I don't have the Bills making the playoffs either. Neither. I have neither one of those teams making the playoffs this year. I think both of them get knocked out, and I think it's going to be
You're firing off today.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let them come for me. It is what it is. I'm being real. This is what I feel, right?
These
the
are
Bills don't.
Thoughts.
Yeah, this is Nitro Thoughts. And I've said it before. I don't have the Bills making the playoffs, and I don't have the Bengals making the playoffs. And I think it's going to come down to it. The only reason, and I want to stress this so bad. Before it, I had them making the playoffs, the Bengals, and not the Steelers. But then I looked at it and I said, bro, this man Tomlin does not have a losing season, and his quarterback has now got past his rookie season and looking to be making his second year jump. You already know the wide receiver that they got that I wanted for the team. I'm still pissed the Ravens went over him and didn't get him. Still pissed off and get the Steelers. Out of all the teams, the ability to get him, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's going to be the deciding factor for the Steelers. And T.J. Watt, that's a bad brother right there from another mother. That man can ball. And for a team that has offensive line issues,
they've gotten offensive line's gotten better though.
Orlando Brown. It's not the bull rush that gets him; it's the speed rush that gets him. Getting around that corner, and I know T.J. Watt plays on the other side of the line, but they sometimes move him around. And if they move that brother around,
Highsmith had a hell of a year or two off the edge for them.
Yes. So that's the deciding factor for me for the Bengals. I'm not betting against Tomlin. I'm just not. Think about, and me and you have had conversations with this. Tomlin has never. You could go down the list of all these other head coaches that have had bad QBs, whatever else like this, good QBs, whatever. He's never had a losing season, regardless of the QB play, regardless of the defensive play, regardless of weather, regardless of injury. Never. So I'm not betting against that. And I think that gets him to 10 wins this year. And I think that they'll have the tiebreaker and whatever else it is against the Bengals, and they'll make it over them. But the Bills, I got Miami over them all day. All day. Tyreek's going to be running track on that team. He's a runner. He's a track star.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yes, sir. So that's my thoughts.
Before we get up out of here, make sure please tell the people where to find you. YouTube, Twitter, the whole nine. We'd love to make sure that anybody that's watching knows where to find you. 1, so they can check you the whole season. 2, so that they can be a fan of you being a fan. And 3, so they can check out the content.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can find me on YouTube at The Wonderkin Show. You can find me on Twitter at Nitro_Quantum, right? And we're doing this bad boy every day. 2 episodes a day, Sunday to Sunday. God bless. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. So definitely there it is. And hold me to it. If I'm wrong, hold me to it.
Oh, and we're locked in. We're locked in all year, man. We're gonna do this all season.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Once love.
You already
know. It's all love. All love.
Again, appreciate you. Best of luck to your team, and let's keep it going. You know. Until next time, this has been Sunday Morning Quarterbacks. Appreciate everybody. Hit the like, subscribe, follow, all that good shit up there. Peace.